Celebrates Doctor. Good morning and welcome to the show. As usual, we're going to start by taking a look at the main headline of our dailies, or in particular, starting with the banner of Al-Ahram newspaper. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met on Wednesday with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, where they tackled the latest developments on the occupied Palestinian territories. The two presidents also discussed the United Nations Security Council bid to set an ending date for the Israeli occupation and the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. The meeting tackled the recent developments in the Arab region and means of unity to confront the terrorist militant groups.
Actually, this is an important meeting.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas briefed Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on renewed Palestinian efforts to seek a UN Security Council resolution that establishes a timeline for an Israeli withdrawal to the pre-1967 lines. Abbas, who arrived in Cairo on Tuesday following a visit to Turkey, also briefed al-Sisi on Israeli measures in Jerusalem, especially violations against Islamic and Christian holy sites, according to a Wafa news agency. Abbas said that the incursions by Jews to the Temple Mount were threatening turning the political conflict into a religious one. The two leaders also discussed the situation in the Gaza Strip in the wake of increased tensions between Abbas's Fatah faction and Hamas. Abbas thanked the Egyptian government for its ongoing efforts to support the Palestinian people, especially in the Gaza Strip. Abbas's meeting with the Sisi followed reports that the Egyptian president had met last week with ousted Fatah leader Mohammed Dahlan, and Dahlan, who is based in the United Arab Emirates, is one of Abbas's strongest opponents. Abbas's aides were said to be enraged over the reports concerning the meeting. However, sources close to Dahlan insisted that the meeting with the Sisi did take place, and the sources said that Dahlan was working toward persuading the Egyptians to reopen the Rafah border, a crossing with the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, Arab League foreign ministers are scheduled to hold a meeting in Cairo on Thursday to discuss the repercussions of the failure of last month's Palestinian statehood bid at the Security Council. It's not clear at this stage if Abbas intends to ask the foreign ministers to back another attempt to win a majority of votes at the Security Council for the proposed Palestinian resolution.
Welcome back. So, Doctor, talking about this meeting, how important it is, and we always say that whatever is happening and all the things that take place in Gaza Strip and in Palestine in general, if we can solve it, we're going to solve the problems of the whole region.
Yes, you know, the issue is that there is great effort from Abu Mazen in order to internationalize the case. And I believe that what's happening in, Security Council and, addressing the issue internationally is quite important for this period. But from my point of view, the main challenge facing all these efforts is unification of Palestinians themselves. You know that all efforts that have been supported by Egypt in order to make reconciliation between Hamas and Fatah, because you cannot address this problem unless you can have just a common ground for reconciliation. And even Israel is always pretending that I don't have a partner to talk and to discuss and to negotiate. So the issue is that without this minimum requirement of some kind of a visionary approach and unification in this vision, we cannot achieve any results. And what we can see that all the time Hamas is acting against this, reconciliation. And every time you can see that the problem for that is Hamas is dispersed between countries, their interest of Palestine, and the Muslim perspective of their action, so that you can notice that quite clear, and this is the big dilemma towards having a solution.
At the end, all Palestinians are Muslims. And this is the most important.
Imagine the situation in Gaza nowadays. They are completely enclaved without any support, without any type of services. They are suffering a lot. So for how long? And there is quite disbursement regarding the quality of life, which means that the leaders of Hamas, they are living in a very good situation, but most of people are suffering a lot. Even I have students there, they cannot come to attend PhD program, because there is a problem.
If I can put it like this, but at the end of the day, no one can ever solve the problem unless they themselves feel the problem and collaborate together to work for the sake of Palestine as a whole. And this is the most important part. But leaving things aside and each one thinking about something different, I think this is the main issue. Let me move on to another headline. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi starts an official visit to the United Arab Emirates on next Sunday and Monday that aims to strengthen the bilateral relations, and will also to participate in the World Future Energy Summit to be held in Abu Dhabi, where he will be the main speaker of its opening session. The spokesman for the presidency, Ala Youssef, said that the president's visit is an important opportunity to express Egypt's appreciation and gratitude for the support of the United Arab Emirates leadership and people as well after the 30th of June revolution, in compliance with the directives of President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The spokesman said that the president will participate in the World Future Energy Summit to be held within a week in Abu Dhabi, in response to the invitation by the President, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces of the United Arab Emirates. Very, very important to talk about this, in addition to the visits of President al-Sisi to all of these countries, again before the economic summit.
This is very important, that President al-Sisi started these visits by European countries, and then China, and then Arab countries, specifically Gulf countries, because Gulf countries are representing quite important now supporters after the revolution, and I believe that harmonization of efforts becoming quite important for this period. And as you mentioned, quite important to harmonize our efforts before the economic conference, which is going to be held in March. And I believe that Gulf investment should play a significant role in the economic reform of Egypt, and enhancing investment for mutual benefits. That now Gulf countries, they are suffering of challenges due to the price of oil, which is decreasing substantially, and that's why it's quite important to attend the World Future Energy Summit, in which I believe that it's quite important to reach a solution regarding what is the future of energy. We should have, as Arab countries and main producers, a strategy towards what are we going to do for the price of oil, and what factors affecting this price, and what is the energy strategy for the whole area.
What factors are affecting?
Why this is happening right now? And we have to take it into our consideration, and we have to to have a strategic planning for the future, what we are going to do, what are the scenarios that are presented nowadays in the period of this declining of prices of oil, which means that for this period I believe that enhancing industrialization by investment of Gulf countries into countries, other Arab countries like Egypt, and specifically for the mega project of Suez Canal. I believe these are quite important to plan for it, and strategic plan can play a significant role in order to enhance our economic relations, because we have witnessed this period of challenges facing the Arab countries as a whole, and now we should benefit from the lessons that could be learned from these challenges, that we have to unify our efforts. And unless we are going to have an economic power for this period, we cannot present ourselves as Arab countries. We cannot affect what is what factors that can affect our countries, which means that we are going to be not major power in the area as our resources can give us. So we have a potential. We are not using this potential efficiently and properly enough. So this is a very important opportunity for all Arab